There's a specific kind of quiet that shows up around month 4 of retirement. Not the peaceful kind you pictured, the kind where the phone doesn't ring, and you realize you spent 30 years half joking about coworkers you'd now give almost anything to run into in a hallway. A man I worked with, I'll call him Frank, told me he'd imagined retirement as one long stretch of coffee with old friends. Instead, he found himself reorganizing the garage for the third time that month, because at least the garage still needed him for something. He said, "I have all this time now, and somehow less to fill it with than ever." Does that sound familiar? Here's what I've come to understand, after all my years sitting across from people working through exactly this. A job was never just a job. It was hallway conversations, birthday cake in the break room, someone stopping by your desk for no real reason at all. You didn't apply for those little friendships. They simply happened to you, every day, for decades, without your ever having to try. And then one Friday, they stop. My neighbor Hal used to say it felt like the whole town had quietly changed its phone number the week he retired. Everyone told him to join a golf league, so he did. He hated golf. What actually worked was smaller and a little strange. He started showing up to the same coffee shop every Tuesday at 9, same seat, same order, not to meet anyone in particular, just to be a regular somewhere. 6 months in, the man 2 tables over finally introduced himself. They still get coffee most Tuesdays. I tell you that because so much of the advice out there assumes the problem is a shortage of clubs. It isn't. The real problem is that friendship used to find you, back when you had a workplace, a routine, a reason to be in the same room as the same people again and again. Now you have to be the one who's findable. That is a genuinely different skill than the one you spent your career mastering, and nobody hands you a manual for it on your last day of work. So if you're in that stretch right now, busy in ways that don't quite add up to anything, I'd ask you not to look for a grand plan. Just pick one small, unglamorous place you're willing to keep showing up to, whether or not anything comes of it right away. Let it be boring for a while. In my experience, that's almost always where it starts.